Um, so, a number of years ago, I had a total hysterectomy. So, um, for years before that, I suffered with heavy periods. So, just before I go on to any men watching this, if you didn't know that women had periods every month, well, they do. Um, yeah, so I had really heavy periods, and the pain was immense, and it got to the stage where I couldn't even wear pads. I was using nappies or diapers, whatever you want to call them, because of clots and heavy blood loss. So, yeah, it couldn't go on really, because womb problems are not good. And how can it be normal? How can you live a normal life with that going on? And we all, like, as women, we do live, sometimes we live with a certain amount of pain and we accept it. But, yeah. So as on this path of being a Reiki master, yoga teacher, yoga meditation teacher, shamanic practitioner, shamanic counselor, psychotherapist, laughter yoga leader, other things. But on this path of working with people and helping other people heal, how could I not heal myself? I find there's a lot of judgment with from other women and some men regarding women that have hysterectomies or other things but hysterectomies, because a womb is a portal. Our wombs are portals for spirit to enter into this physical world, to manifest into being. So it's the way our ancestors come true, our spirit family come back and manifest into this earth. And indeed, I have but 3 beautiful children that I am blessed with. They're all grown up now. So how can I be a creator and not have a womb? As women, we are the creators. How could I be a creator without a womb? So on that path of helping other people, I was called on that path, not like an indigenous shaman. I'm not saying I'm a shaman, I'm a shamanic practitioner. But I was called to that path because I have suffered great trauma and loss in my life. And part of that trauma and loss was through various kinds of sexual abuse. So part of my healing journey from that was that I've had years of counselling, psychotherapy and different healing things, of course, and then finally I found a teacher, a great man who sits across from me and holds a space with wholesome integrity and goodness. And you know what? That's all I needed. That's all I needed to heal, was to be in the presence of such a person. So I'm very grateful to him, and I still go to see him whenever I feel as though I would go to see him once a week, but it's not appropriate. But anyway, womb problems are not good. Abnormal menstrual cycles are not good. The pain, the clots, it's just not good. And in actual fact, I had multiple fibroids in my womb, which were leading to cancer. So that they had to go. But so whenever I think of the womb, right, whenever I think of that space that that womb space, that portal, I think of the energy that is Lilith, that dark void, that chaos from which anything is possible. But, or even like the Morrigan in our own Celtic mythology, that, the Kali in Hinduism, that's what I think of, that potential that's there. But here's the thing, people, and this is what I would say to other women that have this going on in their heads, is that we are spirits manifest in these bodies. We are not these bodies. We have a responsibility to look after our bodies and to heal any traumas and to move any blocks through. We are not these bodies. We are spirit in human form. So, and also men have a womb. They have a spiritual womb. Men are creators. Some of the best poets, some of the best musicians, some of the most beautiful artists and healers are men, of course. Everything that is manifested in this world was first in spirit, was first in someone's mind, in someone's unconscious mind, which is that womb space. You can say that the womb is the unconscious mind, that dark void of potential. So, yeah, I have had hysterectomy, a total hysterectomy. I have never been better. I have never been more in my power. The first painting, after I had the operation, I started to paint and to write verses, which I'm not saying I'm great at. I enjoy doing, and I would never have been able to do that before that operation because of the multiple blocks in this seat of power. And although I had done the healing on a spiritual level, there's no amount of magic or healing vibes would remove that those fibroids and the cancer. So, like, there's a thin line between belief and stupidity. So I'll just leave that one out there. Let's think about it. Yeah, so once that, the first painting I did and the first verse that I wrote was for my that teacher that I go to and sit across from, and he contains and holds my stuff. And I was really happy when he accepted it. And I was just so overjoyed, because if he had have rejected it, he would have been rejecting a part of me. But of course he didn't. He's so much wiser than that. I was so humbled when he did accept it. But yeah, so just going back to that thing that men have spiritual wombs. That is our feminine. That is our feminine that we connect with. So what we do is, whenever we're learning and growing, is we bring our body into line with spirit. So we deal with the trauma in our lives. So in my case, it was like sexual abuse and rape. Yeah. And as women, women are the weaker sex. Baloney. Women, we are not the weaker sex. We are the other part of the wholeness, the divine masculine, the divine feminine. Men and women help each other. I mean, look at all the great stories in myth and all the cultures. In our own culture, I always think of the Dagda going to the Morrigan in the Battle of Moytura and asking for her clairvoyance or her magic to help him win the battle, or the Tuatha Dé Danann win the battle. So yeah, So, yeah. Whenever you think of the womb, right, just think of that. Don't think of that physical body, but think of that that void, that space, that infinite potential that lies at our seat, and tap into that. Don't get hung up on these physical bodies and periods and menstrual cycles. Yes, of course, honor those. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that we are so much more than these physical bodies. Men and women, we are so much more. And we thrive, humanity thrives whenever men and women work together. Yeah. So yeah, I made this is a wee thing I made recently, and it's I made it out of a piece of wood and a crow's feather, and I call it balance and strength because she's on one leg, the wings helping her balance, and this wing is her dark void, her creativity. But anyway, that's what I wanted to say. I've just noticed lately a lot of women still fixated on their bodies, you know. I don't know what that's about. We're not these bodies. We're not these bodies. I mean, don't get hung up on that shit. We are spirit in these bodies, and we connect. The physical body actually limits our connection with our ego mind, but we connect on a spiritual level, like we're all part of this one source. We're just source dipping up and having this life and going down back into the pool of spirit, and then up in another life, you know, we keep popping up and down. But anyway, I digress.